Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're going to be going over this thing, and believe it or not, I got 10 things I hate about this truck, and I'm going to tell you all about them. If you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing, and without further ado, let's hop into this thing. Alright, first things first. The number one thing I hate about this truck is the back seat. Alright, I know everyone's going to say you should have gotten the mega cab, but the mega cab doesn't give you, I think it gives you like 2 more inches of leg room in the front, and the rest is all behind the seat, so it's pretty much pointless if you have kids. This is what I hate. So this seat's all the way back, which is like how I would run it if we were doing a road trip and my wife drove and I was sitting in the passenger seat, and my son's legs are going to be buried in this seat. So that pisses me off the most about this truck. Number 2, I have a check engine light on this thing that's like intermittent. It like comes on every time I put cruise control on, but cruise control will still work. So I've read into the forums a little bit about it, and it says that that was like an issue with this truck. So you know, it's gone and it's not a light anymore. It came on twice, and the first time it came on, it was on for 2 days. Turned the truck on the second day and it was gone. And then the second time it came on, the truck was running. I was on a road trip, turned it off after like 2 hours of driving, turned the truck back on after we fueled up, and it was gone. So I have no idea what that's about. It's just aggravating that this truck already has a check engine light that goes away on its own. Secondly, this right here, this little transmission bump in the back seat is so frustrating, because on a Ford or a Chevy, it comes straight across. So this doesn't exist, it's flat. So that gives you a lot more room to put like our dogs, for instance, when we take our dogs with us. And then up here in the front, you have the engine bulge right here, which also is another issue for me because you can't put your leg straight. So your left leg is going to have to get buried into the corner right here, because you're not going to be able to extend it out because of this engine bump right here. So for my wife, she says it's not a big deal, but I think she's just being nice because that really frustrates me. But anyway, moving on to the next thing that makes me mad is the dip in the back seat. So let me show you this. So the bench seat doesn't go straight across, which becomes an issue because if you're gonna have 3 kids, the car seat's gonna hang off the edge here. So then you're gonna have to figure out which kid is gonna sit in that seat with a car seat, and hope that that thing's anchored down tight enough that the 4 inches of missing seat isn't gonna affect the car seat at all. So that's the other thing that makes me mad. 5th thing that I hate about this truck: there's no storage under the seat. Yes, there is storage under here if you pick it up. Well, not here because there's a subwoofer, but there is storage, but you have to lift the seats up. Well, when you have car seats, that's kind of inconvenient, because I'm not going to take car seats out to get to the storage under here. I would just rather it be flat. So again, referencing Ford and Chevy, you can knock down the little storage thing that they have and make it flat completely underneath your seat, which would be amazing, because I hate the way it's set up right now. All right, moving on. Let's see, what's number 6? Okay, this one's kind of goofy. I can understand if some of you don't agree with this, but the volume controls behind the steering wheel instead of in front of the steering wheel piss me off. So this is your channel changer, and then on the other side there's one that's exactly the same for your volume. And I don't, just me I guess, but I would much prefer it be up here labeled where you can see it, because I came from a Ford where it was labeled and you could see it. And so then you got to get used to having buttons behind this steering wheel. it's just an inconvenience for me. All right, front headrest. This would be number 7. So I don't know if you can tell how far this headrest appears to be forward, but that's as far back as it goes. So that really sucks because you have to have your seat leaned super far back so that your head isn't cranked all the way forward, which in turn contributes to the lack of leg room back here because you have to lean the seat so far back. Food for thought. All right, tailgate width. I understand why they did tailgate width. Because of the camera. All right. So the camera stares down where you would have like your trailer hitch for your trailer, which is amazing when you're backing up a trailer, but at the same time, if you ride mountain bikes and you're trying to throw a cover over your tailgate, this thing is so wide you can't even get the forks over it. I mean, you could, but the bike's gonna be like super high in the air. You could put one right here on the edge, should probably be fine, and on that side, but you know, you've got 4 or 5 buddies rolling with you up into the mountains. You're not putting 5 bikes on that tailgate, you know? So I don't know, you kind of got to pick which one you want. You want to see your trailer hitch, or do you want bikes on your tailgate? I mean, you can throw them in the bed of the truck, but that's just something that I don't really like. And then let's see. All right, back to the rear of the truck. This pisses me off because I'm so scared I'm gonna scratch the paint, or in my case, I already chipped the paint, is how far the paint comes up on the rear bumper. So it hangs, I think this plastic should have been brought all the way over the paint, because when you step on this, you're gonna end up with a ding like what I have right here, because the plastic doesn't hang all the way over the paint. So then you end up with paint chips, and I don't know, I think it just ends up looking like garbage because you have a paint chip in your truck. Second thing, or last thing, this is kind of a two into one because I told you 10, but I got 11. So up here on the dash, there used to be a little Alpine sticker right here just for advertising. So that came off like the first week I had this truck when I was cleaning the interior. Don't know why that decal was so cheap, but it came off. Last thing though is the transmission on this truck. So it's not the ASIN or ISIN, however you say that, but it's just the standard, what is it, 68 is what they have in this truck. And yeah, I don't like how clunky it is. If you're on the gas, like fairly aggressive, it's fine, but like cruising in the streets and stuff, it's clunky, it doesn't shift very good. I'm just not a fan. And that's it, guys. Those are the 10 things I just can't stand about this truck. And that's why I'm getting a Ford. So whenever the Ford comes in, we'll do a review on the Ford and how that's different. But yeah, I'll do a video on, hopefully I can find 10 things I love about this truck, but off the top of my head I can only find like 5. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. As always, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.